theatres. In 1944, the BSSR government take a decision to award the theatre with the name of the Belarusian people's poet Янки Купалы. In 1955, the theatre is awarded with the honorable title Academic, and it's officially recognized to be one of the best 5 theatres in the Soviet Union. Deep study of the Mkhat and Moscow Malay theatre tradition provides the repertoire with the Russian classic plays by Chekhov, Gorky, Ostrovsky, Pogodin. They raise the theatre to a new level of the world dramatic art. Historical period known as Ottepel Khrushchev time of the 60s gave a new impetus to the Kupala theatre. Staging by the director Boris Erin and by talented directors of New Wave Valery Raevsky and Boris Lutsenko combine in itself the best theatre tradition and bright innovation. Such performances as Fox and Grapes, Lavonica in Orbit, Crank, People on Swamp, At the Bottom, This and That Soldier became real events both in the theatrical and social life of Belarus. Gradually, the change of generation of actors is taking place. New bright stars appear in the theater. Viktor Tarasov, Gennady Ovsyannikov, Gennady Garbuk, Pavel Karmunin, Nikolai Yeremenko, Lilia Davidovich, Maria Zakharevich, Avgust Milovanov, Arnold Pomazan, Galina Tolkacheva, Nikolai Kirichenko. In 1973, Valery Raevsky becomes head and art director of the theatre. He introduced a new style to the theatre. It is based on the philosophy of freedom, art expression and classical traditions. A bright theatrical language, free form, topical of staging are combined in Valery Raevsky art with a high classical style of the theatre and peculiarities of the national culture and dramatic art. The works of such world outstanding classical authors as Shakespeare, Dostoevsky, Gogol, Chekhov and Durimat acquire new forms due to the modern form of performing. The peculiarity of the Kupala theatre and the works of Raevsky, like head of the company for more than 35 years, are born and turn of tradition and experiment. Valery Raevsky peculiar directing is an aspiration for philosophical understanding of reality and for creating metaphorical and poetical images. At this time, a number of important for the theatre performances appear. Among them there are Tribunal and Downtrodden Apostle, The Last Chance, characters by Shukshin, Echelon and The Holy of Holies by Druts. Many staging by Raevsky were met with approval by the public. Among them, one can name Whipping of the Quail by Chigrinov, Priorities in 1984 got the USSR Stage Prize, Threshold, Duke Vitov by Dudarev, The Passion of Avdei by Butrameev. All the best works of Raevsky were created together with the theatre leading artist Boris Gerlovan, who represents a part of the history of the Belarusian scenic art. By Gerlovan's staging, one can watch how the theatrical style and staging have been changing for more than half a year. The theme of the mystical dream in performance Storm, the theme of the ruined peasant house in performance The Passion of Avdei. A peasant house in Boris Gerlovan's performances is more often connected with the temple. Its details are the images of the saints and icons create the universal temple of life and faith. It is interpretation the temple finds in Raevsky performance Priorities by Alexei Dudarev. The name of Boris Gerlovan became the symbol of the Kupala theatre and the determinant of the modern Belarusian staging school long ago. The Янки Купалы theatre was honored with the title National for the great achievements in the theatrical art and its great contribution to the national culture. Original artistic decisions of the modern theatre are offered to the spectator by the talented Belarusian director Nikolai Penigin. His performances Garant and Mott, starring Stefania Stanuta, Idilia, Simon the Musician, have a special national color and are remarkable for their deep modern approach to the classical dramatic art. The new century is marked by a new creative rise of directors Valery Raevsky, Vladimir Savitsky and Alexander Gartsuev. Among the rich theatre repertoire, which includes modern plays, Russian and foreign classic, the national dramatic art plays a special role. The best theatre performances were created on its basis. The theatre company includes famous actors of the older generation and by 1/3 consists of bright young actors graduated of the Belarusian Academy of Art. On the basis of the small scene of the theatre, a creative laboratory of young dramatic arts staging has been created. The theater repertoire also includes children performances like the musician Fairy Tale Africa by Kondrusevich and Snow Queen by Schwartz. The theater tours much and represents the best of the Belarusian theater art at different international theater festivals. It has won a lot of awards and honorary titles. The Kupala theater today is a living creative organism which preserves the best artistic tradition and at the same time looks for the forms of existing in the modern world. It is not afraid of daring directing experiments, discovers new names of playwrights, actors, directors and stage directors.
Это то же самое, что и вопрос, что будет с человечеством. Это одно и то же. Как если человечество устроит себе веселую жизнь, то она будет весела. Если человечество опять сглупит и пойдет не по той тропе, не по той дороге, то это будет заливающийся кровью и слезами театр. Но все равно театр, потому что человечество и театр неотъемлемы друг от друга. Человек рождается, чтобы смеяться над самим собой или же гордиться собой. Поэтому я вслед за всеми, кто ходит и любит театр, могу только сказать одно. Театр – это великое действие того человечества, которое замахнулось на те проблемы, которые мы пытаемся апеллировать и решать походя со временем. Время – судья наша, и мы – судьи времени.